A subscriber recently asked me how I remove the Gemini logo from my videos, so I thought I'd quickly show you the process I use in DaVinci Resolve. I'll start here on the Edit page. First, arrange all your clips on the timeline as you normally would. Then, go to the Effects panel and search for an adjustment clip. Drag it above your footage and adjust its length so it covers the section where you want to hide the logo. Now, right-click on the adjustment clip and choose Open in Fusion. You can also do this from the Color page, but personally, I find Fusion a little easier for this. Once you're in Fusion, make sure the adjustment clip is selected. Then press Shift-Space and search for Gaussian Blur. Select it, and you'll see that the blur is now being applied to the entire screen. But obviously, we don't want to blur the whole video. We only want to blur the area where the logo is. So click on the mask option here. You can use different shapes depending on what you need: an ellipse, rectangle, or another mask. I'm going to use an ellipse mask. Now we just need to resize the mask and position it over the logo. I'll hold Shift while dragging the edge inward to make the mask smaller. Then I can click in the center and move it over the logo. From here, it's just a matter of adjusting the size and position until it covers the logo properly. Next, select the Gaussian Blur node and increase the blur strength from the Properties panel. If you don't see the Properties panel, just click this icon in the top right corner. At this point, I usually don't try to make the blur too obvious. I just increase it enough so that the logo blends into the surrounding area. You can also go back to the mask properties and soften the edges if you want the transition to look more natural. Once you're happy with the result, go back to the Edit page. Now you can extend the adjustment clip across your other clips. Quickly go through the timeline and check how the mask looks on each shot. If it's not aligned in any particular clip, just cut the adjustment clip to that section and go back into Fusion. Select the mask and move it so that it covers the logo again. And that's basically the whole process. It's a pretty simple technique, but it's useful when you have a small logo or watermark that you want to make less noticeable without affecting the rest of the frame. You can also zoom in and crop up the logo out of the frame, as long as you're not cutting out anything important from the scene. And that's it. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you soon in my next video.